Hey. Welcome to the channel. So I think this is my first video. Well, first, second, or third, depending on how the editing goes. But in any case, welcome. Um, so if this is the first video, I just want to kind of put that caveat out that this channel is about women empowerment, and pretty much not even just women empowerment, just human beings empowerment in general. I feel like a lot is going on in the world today, and we all just need some uplifting. And this channel is also a way for me to uplift myself and kind of just to remind myself everything that I've learned, along the way. So, all right. So what I kind of want to talk about today is suffering, or some people call it adversity. Some people call it a life lesson or the inevitable. But suffering is something that we all go through, especially living in this. We're in a fallen world. It's definitely not perfect. So I think it's important that we all are aware of, the fact that, we're all put on earth, not just to suffer though, but to, to live and to still live a good life as well. But I kind of just want to go into share my testimony and then provide some tips and tricks and, of how to kind of keep things rolling despite, the adversity we face on a day-to-day basis. But first, before we go there, I want us just to close your eyes and just sit and imagine what your life would be like if it were how you would envision your life to be if you were to live in a utopia. And if you guys don't know what a utopia is, it's a perfect world. What does your perfect world look like? So let me share mine. So my perfect world entails, the American dream, white picket fence. We do live in America. Well, probably most watching live in America, but live in America. So I think a white picket fence out in the front. I have a perfect husband, strong, beautiful man, God fearing, God loving, which I don't think is out of stretch for me. It's not, it hasn't occurred, but I'm keeping hope alive, one day. Some kids running around in the front yard, a bunch of dogs running around in the front, but let's see what else. Loads of money in the bank, don't have to worry about nothing, but also loads of money so I can provide and help other people, because that is the reason we're here on earth. It's not just to serve ourselves, but to serve others. Let's see what else. I don't know, just anything that could go wrong goes right. That would be my utopia. But as we all know, like I said, we do live in a fallen world, so that is not the world we live in, unfortunately. But I don't think I'd want it any other way. One, because a utopia is very cookie cutter, everything is the same. But two, if you live in a perfect world, how can you truly enjoy the good moments? You wouldn't know what the good moments are. You just be going about your day kind of, cookie cutter, kind of brainless, not able to compare one situation from the next, not able to see your growth. That's not very utopia to me. So before we kind of get into my testimony, as I mentioned, that I just wanted to share, just to add light, and for the context into this video, I want to first talk about the three life experiences that we all have. I don't know if it's experiences or categories, but we all have. The first one is relationships. So it's whether we have a relationship with, well, for me, first is God, myself, and then a relationship with others. And then we have our purpose, what were we created for? What did God create us for? What are we spiritually gifted with? That would be the second item. And then the third item that kind of makes up our daily life experiences are our recreational interests. And I will put a caveat here. legal recreational interests, I had to. I'm sorry, I'm not a judge though. I'm not a judger, but recreational interests, like, do you like to read? Do you like to go to brunch? Let's see, do you draw? Do you write? Like to skate? Pretty much anything that kind of takes your mind off of all of the day-to-day stresses that we have would be those recreational interests. All right, so the reason why I brought up those 3 life categories, or day-to-day experiences, is because we will suffer in each of those categories. Like, we've suffered in our relationships, we've suffered in our purposes or our careers, and then maybe even the recreational interests. Maybe maybe you're not a good writer, as good of a writer as you thought you were. I don't know. There's different things and different reasons why we suffer. Some things are self-inflicted, some are caused by others. So that's kind of why I want to bring up that. But now for the what I think would be one of the most pivotal times in my life when I've suffered. So just quick backstory: I was a loner for most of the end of middle school. Most of high school was a loner, very shy, very reserved. So this here is a big step for me with this, but I think over time I kind of grew out of that, and I began to have more non-superficial, relationships and friendships. So in college, I met someone who we're still, cool acquaintances to this day, but we're not friends. Like, we hit it off pretty quick. Sometimes when you meet people, you connect with them. When you connect with them, it's like, oh, like we're kind of the same a little bit. So that's how it was. And due to my immaturity and my inability to communicate efficiently, like and timely, I kind of ruined that friendship. But it taught me the importance of communication. So through that suffering, I learned that if I don't truly cherish the relationships I have, learn to communicate any grievances, and pretty much not be a child, then you may lose a friend, or it won't be like it was before. So that would be my suffering. However, like, as we all know, through our suffering, we have to kind of figure out what the lesson is, so that it's not repeated. So what you go through can either be a lesson, or it can be a pattern that's repeated, and that's what you don't want, is for it to be a pattern that's repeated, especially if it's something that you can control, right? I know there's a lot of things that we don't have control over, because life is unpredictable. Life can be, so for some people, life can be very spontaneous and just unpredictable. So there are some sufferings that that are inflicted on us that we don't have control over, or that even that we inflict upon ourselves, due to trauma, due to bad experiences. But ultimately, kind of like I was saying, you want to figure out what that lesson is, so that you can kind of prevent the suffering from occurring in the future. All right, so I have just a few scriptures to kind of that goes into the suffering. What I've learned, throughout my journey and my relationship with God, and Bible study, I've learned that the Bible is it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap, and it can be a lifesaver for many also. So if you are looking for love, and if you don't feel as if you have a strong support system, or even if you do, when you still need some extra backing, definitely get into the Bible. So I'm going to share just a few scriptures here that I think has helped me in when dealing with suffering, just to have patience in the suffering. So the first one is 1 Peter 2:20-21. It says, if you suffer for doing good and you endure it, this is commendable before God. It says, to this you were called because Christ suffered for you. That's a very good one. Another one is James 5:7-11. It says, be patient, then brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. Brothers and sisters, as an example of patience in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Be patient and stand firm. And then one more here, 1 Peter 5:10, it says, and the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. And let me tell you, I've been restored many a times. So this is real. this is real stuff. So I guess the next part I kind of want to talk about is, which is probably why everyone's here, what to do when dealing with suffering. So it is inevitable, but we can make it through. The first thing I'd recommend is pray. You want to ask God, what is it that you want to teach me during this time of suffering? I think before I used to ask God to remove the suffering that I was experiencing, but now I feel like that's kind of a why me, when you don't want to have a why me, you want to have a why not me, because God made us strong. He made us soldiers, right? So like the scriptures were saying, sometimes you just have to be patient, but also ask God, what are you trying to teach me in this present moment of suffering? The second thing I would say is to lean on your circle. Like, it can be one person, two person, just anyone. Like, your circle can be family, friends, therapists. Even sometimes strangers will listen to you better than your family and friends will. There's always someone out there who cares. You just have to go out and find it. And for a physical, I would say for a physical person, but God is alive. But just going back to the prayer, to God is a part of your circle. Hopefully God is a part of your circle. Pray to him, pray, talk to him. Even if you're not even asking for something, you could just vent to him. But one thing I did learn is that sometimes when you don't have the words to say, he knows your heart. So since he knows your heart, Jesus knows your heart, he'll intercede for you. And then the final thing I want to say is fight. Continue to fight. Fight in the spirit realm. If you have to go around anointing your house, or your apartment, wherever you are, your car, your clothes, like whatever it takes, like don't give up the fight. Learn these scriptures, learn some good scriptures to kind of help you get through it. Go to therapy if you need, like a licensed professional if you need to. Like I said, go to your family and friends, but just know, we all suffer, so you're not alone. I'm sure if you've gone through something, someone else has. Even a quick Google search, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with the breakup? How do I deal with my child acting out in school? Like there's resources out there. So just don't give up. Continue to fight. And I guess before I close here, I just want to say I'm here also if we want to talk. You guys should definitely leave in the comments just a time or a monumental time where you suffered and how you kind of overcame, if you have any additional tips to share with people. But in any case, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time.